A new AAA study shows nearly 36% of drivers fail to slow down or move over for vehicles with flashing lights, putting roadside workers and first responders in danger. The study, which was based on real-world traffic footage, highlights how often drivers ignore laws meant to save lives. AAA points to the weak enforcement of the law and say states with stronger enforcement and public awareness could turn flashing lights back into a signal drivers actually respect and save lives in the process.